Aggie Service Learning Experience, step one of the program is finding a community that has an expressed need. It's not someone who we take our idea of what we think they need and put it on them. And so when we come here, we really try to let the local guides guide us and help us and show us the way. And then before we travel, we also have pre-departure meetings. And in these meetings, we introduce theoretical framework to our students from the university. We collect monetary donations, and then once we get here, we're able to connect a lot of the theoretical things we speak about with a practical application. And then from this point, we have reflection at the end of the evening, where the group gets to share with each other and talk with each other. And then they also have written reflection in order to help process their thoughts. And then, of course, when we get back to Doha, we encourage long-term thinking about the program and how they've changed and how they can implement it in their lives as well.
I'm a program leader with World Volunteer, and World Volunteer is an organization that works in local communities in Laos and Thailand that works on sustainable development projects in local communities.
I am the local guide for World Volunteer, and I try to help a lot of things between local people and the international school. Also to help build the eco bungalow and a little bit teach them how to build, how to make brick, or help them to facilitate like what they want to know from the family, what the family want to know about their culture, or how they live, how they eat, how they're sleeping, so they learn a lot of things about this.
Before we traveled, we had several general meetings that helped us overcome the cultural differences, ethnocentrism, and other cultural barriers once we arrived here. At the same time, we don't want to romanticize poverty, and we should acknowledge that these people are living hard conditions and unfair conditions. Even though that they might be happy in their lives, we are here to make a change and make their lives easy.
So part of our experiences as leaders here, part of our jobs is basically implementing these ideas and theoretical ideas that we learned from the pre-departure meetings. So we make sure that the students learn from these ideas and they see them actual here in real life. We're sort of there to guide them and help them through the transition phase, as well make sure that they're learning from this service trip, as well as not just going through a cultural transition.
We're student leaders on this trip, and our role is to create a healthy and balanced work environment where their students feel comfortable to work in.
And since we've been on this experience before, or on some kind of service experience, all 4 leaders, we serve as a role model to the students to see, for them to look up to us and see how to behave and what to do, what not to do.
So we want to create a balance between challenging them in their work and encouraging them to do their work.
And sometimes some students are not comfortable talking directly to the trip leaders or the chaperones, so they come to us first as a kind of bridge between the chaperones and the students.
I have always wanted to do community service trips for many years, but due to my responsibility at work and home, I couldn't. I did some community service on a smaller scale, but I'm so fortunate to participate in this trip. I'm so lucky to come with amazing students led by Erin, and I got to know some history of Laos and some of Laos culture, food and people, and this was amazing.
I just applied kind of at the last minute on a whim, and I am so glad that I did, and I encourage other faculty to do so, because as faculty we tend to see mostly one dimension of our students, and that is who performs best on the tests or the exams or the essay assignments. And there are so many other dimensions to our students, and I thought I came here to lead by example because I grew up on a farm, and my brothers are farmers and construction workers, so I felt like I could work hard. But truly, I've been so impressed by our students' talents and abilities, and they have led by example, and I'm privileged to be here, part of this selfless service. It's a win-win. They're giving to the world, and they're also learning what they can do and what they're made of. And faculty, you would learn that too about yourself.
So in the work site, our main job was to build the walls for the room, and this specific task required a lot of steps beforehand. So for example, we had to level the field, we had to mix the bricks, we had to cut the straws, shave the bricks, and finally we put them all together and we make the wall. And we worked as in teams so that everyone gets an equal opportunity in each different task and everyone gets an equal experience. And we were able to work together with the local people from Laos, and we were led by two amazing Lao citizens, Mr. Ka and Mr. Kaur, and they were of great help, and yeah, we had an amazing experience.
Before we came on this trip, we had a very narrow definition of what service was. Like, we thought we'd come here and just build houses or shelter, but then when we came, we realized that it's a lot more than that. It's about interacting with the community, exchanging cultures, and we realized that it's important to do like small actions such as, you know, just smile at everyone and respect their culture and try to, you know, interact with them.
The volunteers on this trip got to stay with homestay families. For me, this was the first time I ever get to do this experience, so at first I was very concerned of how I'm gonna feel. But when I've lived there for like the first few days, I felt very comfortable. The homestay families provided us with showers, they made our beds, they provided us with like breakfast, lunch and dinner. So I felt very comfortable living around them. They've been very kind, welcoming and friendly. I feel like one of the challenges would be communication, since we both spoke different languages. But I feel like it did not stop us from like, you know, getting to know their names or how many children they have. So we knew like the basics of like the way they live. And I feel like it's important to like get to live with the family and get to know them, because it shows that we care about the people we're donating to, and like we show them that they matter.
This program has been definitely a life-changing experience for me. I acquired a lot of soft skills that I can apply later in my engineering degree. It made me think of what will I do next when I come back home, so I'm planning to join some of the committees in my home country to be able to make like some change.